Mr. Mayor, we live.
All right, thank you, Mark. So today is August 16th, 2023. The time is 7:08 p.m. and I'm calling to order the Baldwin Park City Council regular meeting. At this point, I will ask Pastor Jackson if you can lead us in an invocation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you now in the name of the Lord and giving you praise, glory, honor, and thanksgiving. We thank you, Lord, for Baldwin Park and all those that are working in Baldwin Park to make it a great city, the city mayor, the city council, everyone that is putting their hands to the plow. We thank you, Lord God, as I look around the room and see all these youngsters that are here, Lord. I'm asking you put your mighty hand up on them, Father. Keep them from all hurt, harm, or danger, Lord God. Help them to grow and be productive citizens wherever you plant them in their later years, Father. We're asking you, Lord God, to look upon our school district, Heavenly Father. There are things happening elsewhere with other schools, Lord, putting a hedge of protection around about our schools and around about our children, Lord, that they can come and learn, Lord, and go home as well, Father. We're asking you, Lord God, to look upon our fire department, Lord, as we are thinking about the fire department and putting your hand upon them, Lord, that you would think about what's happening in Hawaii, Father, that you would touch those that have lost their homes and lost their lives. Lord, we need you. And we are acknowledging that we can do nothing without you. We're acknowledging you that we need you. We're asking you, Father, to put your hand upon our police department and lead, guide, and direct them, Lord, as you're giving the city council, the police department, and all of those that are working in the city wisdom and knowledge and understanding and how to deal with every situation that comes before them. We're asking you, Heavenly Father, to look upon our businesses, Lord, that the businesses in Baldwin Park will grow and prosper, Lord God. We're asking you, Lord God, these things that Baldwin Park will be noted, not as just as the hub of the San Gabriel Valley, but be noticed as a great city right here in the middle of the San Gabriel Valley. And we give you the glory and the praise. In the name of the Lord, we pray. Amen.
Face the flag and put your right hand over your heart. And begin.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And City Clerk, you can go ahead and conduct a roll call.
Mayor Estrada,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Garcia. Let the record reflect that Mayor Pro Tem Garcia is not present. Councilmember Avila.
Here.
Councilmember Ayala.
Here.
Councilmember Damian.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, City Clerk. City Attorney, is there anything to report out from closed session?
Thank you, Mayor. Earlier tonight, the City Council held a special meeting in which they discussed the closed session items. The items are listed on the special meeting agenda. There were quite a few items tonight's agenda. Items 1 and 2 both involve discussions regarding property located at 14402 Pacific Avenue. One case was real property negotiators. In the other case, it was anticipated litigation. City Council heard presentations from both its negotiator and from legal counsel on that matter, and we have no reportable action. There was also several litigation matters that were discussed in the matter of Rookley Inc. versus City of Baldwin Park, DJCBP Corp. Versus City of Baldwin Park, and K8 Investor Holdings versus City of Baldwin Park. City Council heard presentations from legal counsel on those matters, and we have no reportable action. I should also note that all members were present with respect to these items, except for Mayor Pro Tem Garcia and Councilmember Damian. However, Councilmember Damian did join us for the discussion on K8 Investor Holding versus City of Baldwin Park. That concludes the report.
Thank you for that, City Attorney. So at this moment, we are we have completed all of our official business during special meeting. So I will move to adjourn the special meeting. Can I have a second?
Second.
Are there any objections? If not, the special meeting is adjourned and we continue on with our regular meeting. And so an important announcement is the city council are also members of the board of directors of the Housing Authority and Finance Authority, which are concurrently convening with the city council this evening. And each council member is paid an additional stipend of $30 for attending the Housing Authority meeting and $50 for attending the Finance Authority meeting. We will move on to our proclamations, commendations, and presentations. And I believe we have a presentation by Valley County Water District's declaration of a stage 1 water supply emergency presented by Jose Martinez, General Manager of the Valley County Water District.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council, staff. It's great to see all the youth here, and I'll talk to them a little later as we get further on the presentation. But I do come bearing some good news. And before I get going, I do want to announce that I do have several of my board of directors. I have my board president, Javi Vargas, our vice president, Jasmine Leos, and 2 of our directors, David Muse, as well as Ralph Galvan. So they're back there in the audience. So certainly appreciate their constant support with the district and the activity that we do throughout the city of Baldwin Park. But as mentioned, if we can go to our next slide. The good news is that we received about double the amount of rain that we typically receive in the Baldwin Park area, the San Gabriel Valley. So that impact really has changed the ongoing drought conditions that we had throughout the state of California. So last year at this time, the map of California was pretty bright red throughout the map, kind of showing an extreme drought conditions throughout the state. So because of the abundance of precipitation that we received this past year, that really has had some great impacts throughout the state. If we go to the next slide shows a graph, and that the tail end of that blue line shows the jump up of the rebound of the underground aquifer, and that shot up about over 40 feet. And that's millions of gallons of water that were able to rejuvenate that underground groundwater basin. So certainly because of the rain, because of our ability to capture over 90% of the water in the San Gabriel River, and for this was a blessing. Anybody who actually saw the flowing of the San Gabriel River during the winter months, that's not a very common experience. And thankfully, because of all the works that were done throughout the decades in the 50s and 60s through the Army Corps and the county of creating a series of dams throughout the San Gabriel Valley up into the Azusa Canyon there, that we were able to capture and release that water periodically throughout, capture at first when you get the rain, build it up in the dams, and allow it to come down the San Gabriel River. And when you do that, you allow it to percolate into the groundwater basins and some spreading grounds, and that really had a great impact on our groundwater basin. So that was great news. In reaction to that, if we go to our next slide, our board of directors at Valley County Waters did move back to a stage 1 water storage contingency. We were previously at a stage 2, which limited outdoor watering to 2 days. So because of the abundance of rain that we received and the rebound of the groundwater basin, we did make the action to move back to stage 1, which now allows for 3-day outdoor watering maximum. So that was certainly great news. So hopefully get those diamonds, those fields a little greener out there for y'all to play on. Next slide. And so that kind of covers a little bit of the drought conditions. And one thing in July, as a water agency, we have to report out to our community that we serve all our water quality data that was collected throughout the year. So we're pleased to report. We sent out this document out to all our customers, and this is our consumer confidence report that documents all the water quality samples that we took over the year. And happy to report that we met and exceeded all state and federal regulations as far as the drinking water. So the slogan that we have is certainly, utilize the water resources that's provided to you and trust that tap water. You can certainly drink it, you can cook with it, and everything that you need to do it. We go through a lot of steps, a lot of testing, a lot of procedures to make sure that water is safe to consume. So we certainly promote that to our customers, that it is, and trust that tap, and you can drink that tap water. Next slide, please. And a little bit, sometimes those documents that go out, they have a lot of technical water quality data, and sometimes it's kind of hard to decipher. So this year we try to do a little something. We actually made a little podcast, talking about the water quality data, and kind of goes page through page of that document to kind of explain to our customers about the consumer confidence report and the water quality data that was collected. So if anybody wishes to learn a little bit more about water, I certainly encourage the youth that we have out here. I know there's a lot of hopes and dreams, as I did, of one day being a professional, whatever it may be, but certainly water, public works, there certainly is a great interest. There's great opportunities to do what myself and Enrique, we're not going to be here forever. So we need the next future leaders to come and take these roles and provide to the community as best we can the resources and all the public related duties that we have. So I know it may not be as cool as a professional baseball player or what it may be, but I certainly have found a very rewarding career in water, as I'm sure all the staff here at the city have found rewarding careers in serving the community that they care for so much. So there is a lot of information that the district puts out there on social media. So if there's any questions or comments, you can certainly go to our social media, go to our website, and call our staff if there's any questions about water quality or any type of water quality drought updates. So with that, that's all I have to report this evening, and I'd be more than happy to take any questions at this time. I was also told to keep it short, so that's about as short as I can probably.
Very nice. Thank you for that presentation. I don't know if any of our staff or council members have any questions.
Mayor, I don't have any questions. I just want to thank you, Jose, for coming and giving us the update. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate President Vargas being here, and Vice President Leos, and Director Galvin, and also Director Muse for supporting you. And I appreciate our collaborative efforts and everything that we do. But I just want to thank you for coming out and doing that. Thank you. Thank
I
you, Mayor.
appreciate it.
Jose, one question on the groundwater aquifer elevation. Is that a record elevation
Actually,
from?
we can go back to that slide. It shows the maximum and it shows the actual low. So about 2 years back, we were at our historical low. If you see that red line, that's a historical low that was about 2 years ago. And put on my glasses, and I think it was a 97. Yeah, about 98, 97. That was a historical high where it was about, it actually shows.
Okay, so we're not at a record high right
No,
now.
we're not at a record. I would say we're in the halfway point.
Yeah.
Between the record low and the record high.
Yeah.
So, but this really is the best indication of the overall health of the basin. So just like a bank account, you don't want to be, you're shooting for the middle. You certainly want to get as high as you can. But we're coming off, several years out where we were at historical lows. So that this last year was a blessing. It did bring us a little bit of time. We're certainly not out. So a lot of people question, are we out of the drought? When you look at the physical map, technically we are out of a physical drought. But we also have to always respond and act as if we are in a drought and also preparing for the next drought. So we look at it as drought recovery. And I know a lot of people get tired of the word drought and kind of focusing on that. So we really look at that graph to see exactly how we're doing with the resources, and not only locally, but throughout the entire state of California. How are we doing with resources that we have to share amongst every citizen in the state of California? But we do much more interesting stuff than talk about water every day. I try to attract our future leaders out here. So hopefully something interested them. Any questions from the audience? Do I dare?
Your call if you want to risk any hard questions.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for being here. I know, I know that we are undertaking soon a project jointly for the toilet replacement program. So I'm sure that'll help us save even more water, right? So to your point, it's really important that we are water conscious all the time, not just during the drought, because water is limited. I mean, we wasted today, we might not have it tomorrow. So very, very important to keep those measures going, and just remind people that it's very, very important to be not only eco-friendly, but just considerate of the water we use and when we use it and for what we use it.
Yeah, it's the whole sustainability of trying to balance of utilize what you need, but also be conscientious of what you're actually utilizing out there. So I appreciate your time.
All right. More question, no questions, right? All right, well, thank you for that, Jose.
Thank you.
So at this moment, we have a presentation. We have the certificate recognition to the Baldwin Park American Little League Junior Division softball team for being named back-to-back champions 22 and 23. For 2023, so-called champions and state champions and Western Regional. All right, so I'm gonna ask council to move other chairs out of the way, and then we'll make way for the team to come up here. And if you didn't notice, we all have our baseball swag on because we're all about baseball and softball today. All right. All right, so Baldwin Park American Little League can start making their way up the dais.
Girls, you can come up here from the right.
And the coaches.
Coach to all our coaches. And our league president, thank you.
There. Oh, yes, okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and call out the names just because there's a lot of certificates to pass out. And so for the, yeah, you should all be. So we have the Baldwin Park American Little League Junior Division softball team. And on the roster, we have the coaches, Adalberto Guerrero, Adrian Alvarado, and Faustino Rodarte Jr. And then we have the team mom, Maria Guadalupe Silva. And then we have the American Little League president, Victor Velasco. Yeah, so this one's for Victor. This one. All right, and then the girls, we have Jocelyn Boone. Oh, yes, you can raise your hand so we know who you are. And we know that you're here. Oh, yeah, you have school tomorrow. So we don't want to keep everybody here too late. Nayeli Lopez. Kayla Iniguez. Jasmine Soria. We have Daisy Ovalle. Emmy Moctezuma. Arlene Diaz. Destiny Yanes. Ariana Gutierrez. And we have Sofia Guerrero. Did you miss anybody? You didn't miss anybody, right? All right. So of course, we're very, very excited. I know you just recently came back from Arizona and handled the heat and the pressure. So, you know, we're very, very proud and very well, for one, we're very fortunate to be able to make sure that we supported you during that time, and we're very excited to know that you put Baldwin Park in a positive light, not just in Baldwin Park and in California, but outside the state as well, and putting a favorable recognition to all of our names. So we're very, very excited, and we're very, very proud of all of you. Thank you for that.
My name is Kayla Iniguez. I was one of the team captains from this amazing team. And Baldwin Park American Little League wants to present the city of Baldwin Park with this plaque for the support and the generosity for giving us all the needs that we needed to make it all the way to Arizona.
Well, now I feel a little guilty that we only got your paper certificates. So. Well, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to the council and for any comments that you have, and then we can hand it off to our team, our head coaches and president.
I just want to say how proud we are of all of you girls for not only winning District 19, but also state of California and going to represent us in Arizona. So I just want to say congratulations, and don't forget, keep shooting for the stars. We're here to support you all the way.
Girls, I just want to tell you again how proud of you I am. And before we sent you off to Arizona and I talked to you guys, I told you that I was really proud of all of you. And I was really happy to watch you play. It was very difficult, as our friends at National know, they played the girl of the National to get to district champ. So that was a tough battle as well. But you guys prevailed, and I'm really proud of each and every one of you. So thank you. And as my colleague said, you're giving us a great light and a great representation of our community. So I'm just proud of you. So congratulations. Thank you.
I also want to congratulate every single one of you. I'm sure it wasn't easy to get where you're at, but you didn't give up. And that's what's so important. And in life, you're going to come across a lot of things. And as long as you have that mentality you had to get to where you're at right now, you're going to do whatever you want in life. So congratulations. Congratulations to the coaches, to the team mom, and to all the parents that made this possible, because without your parents, you wouldn't be here either. They were behind you all the way. Is that right? I saw the pictures and I was like, oh my gosh, there was a lot of parents out there. I wish I would have caravan with them, but yes. So congratulations. I'm very proud of you. Keep it up.
And then we have Veronica Lopez from Assemblywoman's office.
Congratulations, ladies, parents, coaches. It's just a wonderful, it's wonderful to recognize, especially our young ladies. It's an honor for us to recognize the young ladies here today. I have a certificate for the team, but I will be getting all of your information so we can give you one individually as well. But it reads, "It is with great pride that I join the California State Legislature and the residents of the 48th Assembly District in presenting you with this recognition for winning back-to-back SoCal and state championships and a Western Region semifinalist. I commend your dedication to teamwork, which led you to a successful season. Congratulations, best wishes next season. Signed, Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio, 48th Assembly District." Thank you again. Congratulations. And we were honored to actually help fund your trip as well. So thank you so much for reaching out.
And before we take a picture, we'll hand it off to our coaches and league president. You have any comments?
Well, I'll go. I just want to thank everybody, the city council, all the supporters, all the parents that went over there. We were probably you probably have the biggest, loudest, and sometimes rowdiest crowd. But that's all important. It was a great ride. Only I can see we only took 10 players. We got over there, we had to deal with the elements, the heat, took a monsoon like every night we were there. Our pitcher was injured. She pitched every game. Marlene Diaz, every game, every inning, despite an injury. Our catcher got hurt. sucked it up and sit in there, but that just shows you the resiliency of these young ladies and their goals. And that's gonna take them far in life. Tomorrow they start high school, right? And I know that's fine. Good job, ladies.
Just ladies, proud of you. Again, great success. And parents, of course, thank you for your support and for the city of Baldwin Park as well. Thank you for the support.
Everyone over just a little bit, just. It's the tab.
A little bit tighter, folks.
On this line. You want to see everyone's face?
Yes.
We're moving off center. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that we can be.
Everybody can come out.
Right there.
No, I need. Did everybody come out?
You're front row.
That's right.
That's the young lady. Right there. Cameras.
All right. You can go any way you guys want. You can go any way you want.
Yes, the next.
Edgewood, Northview, and Southview.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. He told me he had his picture.
Oh, thank
He
you.
had picture.
Awesome.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah. We see his cat.
That's Coach Adrian.
Hey, ma.
Get a pen. Thank you.
Where is? Okay.
How?
Try not to get the glare, the reflection.
Wait.
All right, and next we want to welcome the Baldwin Park National Little League Junior Division Baseball team for winning District 19 championships. And
Oh, it's orange.
all right,
Sorry.
and of course, So again, we're very proud of the National Little League as well. And of course, the young men that are representing the city in the District 19 championships. And we're very excited to see all of you, both boys and girls, be involved in sports and staying athletic and developing in a positive and healthy way. And the city is here to encourage and support you, both teams, in every endeavor that you choose to take on. And we want to make sure that we help you succeed. And we're looking forward to see you both be champs again next year. So thank you as well, Ballpark National Little League, for the positive recognition you bring to our city and to your Little League. And the first certificate is for Edson Chavez, President. Forrest, you want to help me out? Help me out with these? That's my pass right there. All right, and we have the roster here, and so we have Austin Benavides as one of the coaches. We have Gustavo Mejia. And we have Diego Hernandez. And then player information, we have Gustavo Gomez. Carlos Gonzalez. Isaac Roberto Gonzalez. Jaden Vincent Guijarro. Michael Juarez. Nathan Marquez. Gustavo Junior Mejia. Damian Minor. We have Damian Major over here because of the bigger one. And we have Raymond Munoz. Leonel Eduardo Ortiz. Julian Rodriguez. Ethan Sebastian Trujillo. And we have Isaac Jason Villescas. Of course, before we take a picture, opening up the floor to council for any comments.
Again, guys, we just want to say congratulations. We're so proud of you for winning District 19, and just know that we're here to support you as a city. Congratulations.
I do want to take this opportunity to thank you guys. Great ball playing. I enjoyed watching you guys play and winning that league title. So I just want to thank you. And as people say, I'm all about national, you know that, but I love you guys and I'm really proud of you. So congratulations.
Congratulations, boys, for winning District 19. I hope you continue to play the way you're playing. How many of you are in high school or going to high school already? So your schools, I'm sure they're looking forward to having you guys on the team. So make your schools proud, but most of all, make yourselves proud and continue the way you're going. Congratulations.
Testing. Thank you, everyone. Again, Baldwin Park American Girls, awesome job. We're all very proud of you. Our boys right here as well. We all follow each other and we support each other, and that's what it's all about. Good job with the boys too. I just real quick, I kind of doodled some notes right here on my phone. I'm just going to read off of it. Mr. Estrada, we appreciate you. Thank you very much. We, Baldwin Park American and Baldwin Park National, really appreciate you, Mr. Estrada, Ms. Gina Ayala, Mr. Daniel Damian, Mr. Ralph Galvan, and Mr. Chris Sines. They're always over at the league supporting us. We thank you for everything you do for us at the league. Together, we make our community function and give an amazing opportunity and experience to these and the future to the young student athletes here present in this meeting here. And thanks again to all of you guys. Thanks again, parents and all the board members. Thank you.
I definitely see the rowdiness that the coaches were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
huh?
right? Well, that's what it's all about. We Baldwin Park, that's how we roll. Okay, again, I'm Veronica with Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio's office, and I'd like to also congratulate this young men for bringing pride to our community, the both young women and the young men. Thank you so much again for what you do, and keep it up. And someone mentioned you're student athletes and you're student first, okay? So that's my mom's speech, students first. So congratulations, team. On behalf of Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio and the California State Legislature, we want to thank you and commend you for the dedication to your teamwork. Thank you.
Hey.
Way over, please. Squeeze it in, please.
No.
Let's move just a little over. If we can get. Yes. Can see some faces. Austin, I can't see your face. Hey, this camera first. One, two, take a few pictures, please hold. Smile, Isaac. 4, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait. One, two, and.
Mayor, if I may, while they're going back to their seats, I'd like to congratulate both of these leagues on behalf of District 19. I'm here to represent them and tell them that we're so proud of them. They definitely put Baldwin Park on the map. You know, they're shining stars. They put their hearts into it. I was able to travel to Arizona with the girls softball team, and it was just amazing to see what these girls did, these 10 girls did. But I also want to personally thank all of the council, mayor, council, Avila, Damien, as well as Monica and Jean, because they couldn't have done it without you guys. You know, we came, we pleaded our case, and you guys didn't hesitate. And I just want the community, especially those listening at home, you know, Baldwin Park cares about their community. Our council cares. And I just want to personally thank you guys for stepping up.
All right, guys, again, if I may too, I want to extend extra thank you to Cecilia and her family. She did above and beyond what anybody could have done for us. I know for national, for the little leagues in the region. And I just want to show my appreciation, not only for myself, on behalf of the league and the city of Baldwin Park for what she did for us this past season. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so we do have one more. We do have one more recognition, but I believe Guy's not here today. And so it is for congratulating him on 50 years of commitment to the Baldwin Park National Little League. And so we'll have Eddie, the league president, take it up first.
Thanks again, Mr. Mayor. And as everybody knows, Guy Wintermute, he is everything Baldwin Park Little League. And I'm not just gonna say national, he's involved, he's East Side, American, Baldwin Park National, he's everything Baldwin Park Little League. And he's done so much for our community, for our young, for all of the athletes that have gone through his tenure there at Baldwin Park National. I tried my hardest to get him out here, but as everybody knows, Guy is not that type. And that's why I'm here. And I know now why, because you know, he wouldn't be able to address the crowd like this. I'm I'm getting nervous myself just doing so. So I'm gonna go back to him later on tonight. I'm gonna give him this damn you guy. But again, we really appreciate the recognition. Not only for Guy, of course, definitely 50 years. That's a lot of years for the community. And once again for Baldwin Park National Little League and Baldwin Park American, and also Baldwin Eastside Baldwin Park Little League. Thank you guys kindly. I will go ahead and I'll give this with great honor to Guy Wintermute. Thanks again.
I think that's it for the presentation, Dan. Hi, B. Oh,
Mayor, really quickly, I just, as Eddie's leaving, I just want to really quick say about Guy. And I've had conversations with him, and I really appreciate Guy, and I know that council member Damian probably will have some words as well. But you know, Guy Wintermute have committed himself and dedicated himself to the youth of this community. We all have the utmost respect for him. And like I told my council colleagues, I think the last time we met, I was afforded the opportunity to give him a proclamation on his Guy Wintermute Day on our behalf, and he was pretty floored by it. So I know that this is a little overwhelming for him, but I totally agree. He's a legend. He's an icon, and he's baseball, and he's baseball here in Baldwin Park. So I'm just really proud of Guy, and I'm really happy for him. So thank you, Mayor.
all right. Well, thank you for that, Councilwoman Ayala, and then thank you all of you for being here. And of course, like we said, we're very, very proud of you, and we're very excited to be able to recognize you for such good work. And we're excited, and we're pretty confident that we're going to be able to do this again next year. So. Yes, and so it is, we want to make sure that you keep working hard, and then you are aware that we're all here to support you, and what a great opportunity you had to be able to explore outside of Baldwin Park and do something that you love and also get to develop that. So it's really, really exciting to be able to support you in that once again, and we're here for whatever support you need. And like I said, we're excited to be able to do this again next year, so we'll be waiting for you. So at this moment, we have concluded our presentations, recognitions, and commendations. So we will move on to our public communications. City Clerk, is there anybody looking to speak?
Hi, Mayor. At this time, we have not received requests for comment.
Great. At this moment, if you would like to speak and you didn't fill out a speaker card, now is your time.
Yeah. We'll tag you guys. Yeah, we do step outside, take some pictures. See you.
All right, so at this moment, if you are looking to make a public communication, now is your time. You will have 3 minutes. And if you need a translator, there will be a translator made available to you. All right, well, seeing that nobody is looking to speak and nobody filled out a speaker card, we will go ahead and close the public communication and we will continue with our consent calendar. So at this moment, City Council, if there's any items you would like to pull from the consent calendar, now is your time.
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to pull item number 5.
Okay, item number 5. Is there any other items council would like to pull? I'll pull number 9 just so we get a better understanding. And I believe that's it. So we will make a motion to approve items 1 through 10, excluding 5 and 9. Can I have a second?
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
All right. Thank you for that, City Clerk. So at this moment, Councilmember Damian, item number 5, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Seeing that Ron is not in today, Victor, you're gonna be handling this? Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I was looking at this. I know that the buildings have not been built yet. And honestly, after reviewing the staff report, I would like to kind of put our own in-house efforts into trying to lease these locations before we go out to outsource and pay, $40,000 to get these leased. I know that, we can do our own credit checks in-house, maybe have the city attorney's office assist with those. I don't know, Victor, do you have the ability to do credit checks?
No, we don't have any way to pull credit checks.
Okay. And then what about lease agreements? Are you guys able to come up with the lease agreement and have the city attorney review it?
Yeah, we can come up with probably a boilerplate template lease agreement and have it reviewed by city attorney.
For lease agreements? What about for credit checks?
I have to check on that.
Okay.
But even if we don't.
Yeah, there are third-party vendors. Yeah, so I think, honestly, my recommendation would be for us to try to use our own in-house tools and resources. I know that there's internet like LoopNet, and others out there like Property Shark that can, assist with marketing. It's going to be a prime location. So I know that once, business owners know where this location is going to be, I don't think that we're going to have a difficult time trying to lease these out. I would recommend that we kind of use all of our resources first. And if all else fails, then maybe we can go out and, hire contract to get this leased. But my recommendation would be for us to try to save the $40,000 now. Let's get Victor and our community development department. I know they do a great job out there. They can, go out to different businesses, see who would be interested in leasing that location, bring us back the options, and then we can go ahead and decide, what businesses we would like to see there before we go out and spend the $40,000. So that would be my recommendation. If
Mayor?
council has any other.
I have a comment.
Yes, Councilwoman.
So I was also looking at this and I recall in the past, we had already discussed the fact that we should have our own people looking into what kind of restaurants to look into. And I know we did start that. So I'm in agreement. I think our staff knows what we're looking for. We're looking for something that is popular, but that we don't have within our city limits at this time, something that our community would like, but others as well. Other communities would want to come into our city. And I think our staff has a great idea of what we are looking for. I honestly don't feel that we should be spending those $40,000 when we can start in-house, because again, we have a better idea of what we're looking for. We can reach out to different businesses, start talking to them, make it a more personal type of advertising rather than just putting it out there. I think it would start calling restaurants and businesses and make it very personal. I think we would have a better response and more of what we're looking for.
If I may offer a suggestion, council members, is that is the cost of the proposal notwithstanding, of course. And it's just that, you know, we oftentimes enter into an area in which we have limited expertise. And then we find out that we rather just bring someone on board to help us out. You know, it could be any number of areas, and we end up seeking a consultant to come in and help us. And, you know, and the way the real estate, and of course, you know, you know, real estate, Councilmember Damian, but, you know, just being able to access listing services and, you know, agent representatives, many lessees themselves are represented by an agent, many of them, not always, but very often they are. So, you know, it's an agent that represents the potential lessee. I know we can try to make it go smoothly, but I know we're putting a lot on our staff, but you know, if that is the inclination of the council, we can definitely attempt to make it work. We're proposing to amend a contract with our real estate representative, the one who helps us with all the other real estate transactions. It's not a new contract. We would be amending her contract. We have her on board for everything that's related to real estate. And this is obviously a real estate transaction in some way. So that's why, I mean, yeah, of course, we would rather not spend the money, but we really are stretched very thin.
No, and I get what you're saying, Enrique, and I understand that, but honestly, for me, it would be, I think that it's best for us to try to do what we can before we just go and spend the $40,000. I understand that when it comes to more of a purchase transaction, you know, there's more of negotiation that goes back and forth. And I can see a real estate agent or a broker being used for that type of transaction. But in this case, we're talking about a lease, right? It's not rocket science. I mean, I don't know if there's a conflict or not, but if you need help listing it, you know, obviously I'm not going to charge. I would be more than happy to, you know, roll up my sleeves and help you promote this, market it, you know, write up the lease agreement, whatever it is that you guys need help with. If there's no conflict in me being able to assist you, I would be more than happy to do so. But I just think that it would be wise for us to try to lease this out ourselves first. I mean, the building's not even built yet, right? We can get the renderings, we can promote those online. Like I said, this is a very prime location. So it's you're not gonna have a regular small mom and pop shop that's probably gonna come there.
The only timing consideration was whether we can have a potential suitor on board early enough so that customization to the space can still be achieved.
And we can do that with the design and the layouts. I mean, we've got, you know, I know Sam emailed me on behalf of Ron, the layout for the 2 units that we have. So, I mean, for me, I honestly would save the city's $40,000. I would try to exhaust all of our resources first. It's not, and I understand, I'm not trying to add more pressure to staff. I get it. But I know Victor, you know, he's an expert on this. This is what he does. Let me ask you a question, Victor. Have you went out or have you spoken to any potential business owners or businesses that would be willing to come to this location? Have you presented this location to any businesses?
We have one in particular, a cafe in West Covina, and they were very interested. Some of their roots are in Baldwin Park, and they're looking for a second location, a very popular cafe in West Covina. And we've discussed and showed them renderings. And so there was very much interest there. They would probably be one of the first people that we would probably reach out to. And actually, even if we do contract with, amend the agreement, we would ask her to reach out to them also. I think they would be a real good fit for the city and a real good fit for that park.
You would have made my job very easy by telling me, here we have this one that's very interested in doing it. I mean, if we already got interest and he's already spoken to one of the businesses, we're not saying that this is the business we're bringing in there, right? But that just goes to show you how easy it is to be able to lease this location out because of its location. I would be inclined to let's continue. Let's let Victor take the lead on this, reach out to different businesses. Let's try to get our, marketing out there. We can do our own marketing through Baldwin Park Now, social media, whatever it is. And then let's use those websites, those Shark, Property Shark and LoopNet and all of those. And let's use our efforts and then save ourselves $40,000. And if we market it for a few months, let's just say, 3 to 6 months, put a timeline on there. And if there's no action, then we can bring this back and then maybe just go ahead and just, contract the work out. That would be my recommendation.
And I agree that we should look into other businesses that may be interested in coming in, compile a list and then look at it to see what's a fit for the city of Baldwin Park. Would our residents really enjoy this type of business there? Would we have outside people coming into our businesses? Again, we had already discussed it. So I think it would be a good idea to, I would move to take this item off the calendar so that our people can look into finding other businesses, create that list, and then take it from there to see who's interested in coming in. And once we find somebody that we think is a great fit, then we continue to move forward with the legalities of everything.
Mayor.
That would be mine.
Mayor, I agree with Councilmember Avila and Damian in terms of trying to save some money and not, amend the contract at this time. And I have the utmost confidence in Victor that he can do the job because, he's done it for us in the past. So I'm willing to go along with my colleagues in terms of pulling it. And then hopefully in-house, we can take care of that. Thank you.
My only concern would be, I guess FOMO, right? Just fear of missing out on what we can get. I know that we have some interest in the spaces from the cafe, and I know there's interest from locals. I just want to make sure that we're extending our opportunities to the fullest to make sure that we get something that otherwise we might not have, right? Because it's not just about the plaza. The plaza is going to serve its purpose only if you get the right people to be in that place, right? And so, we can spend all this money and we can invest in the downtown, but if we don't get the right store, or we end up with another, medical facility, or we end up with something that's service based and not taxed, and it's not bringing in the right people or the community that we want to create, then it's going to not let Zocalo flourish the way we intended to.
Question. So pretty much these people would be advertising and just getting the word out there, correct? Councilmember Damian is willing to do it for free and advertise it. So, I mean, how could we say no to something?
Actually, she would do a lot more for us. She's actually in the audience. I think what would be a good exercise is kind of, have her talk about what she would do in addition to just marketing that she would do a lot more than just getting it out there, which we could do also. But she goes a little bit above and beyond that. If we get multiple offers, she can help with the credit worthiness, the financial worthiness, making sure we get a good tenant. I mean, we can pick somebody, may come in, and then maybe they're out in, 6 to 10 months or something like that. So that's part of what her service would be for us, not just getting it out there, but also the vetting on potential letters of intent.
Yeah, and I don't know where she's at, but I don't want to minimize her expertise because I know that, she's done great with us. She's a great partner, and oh, there you are. And, we thank you for, all the work that you've done for us in the past. But I mean, honestly, like I said, if this would have been a purchase transaction,
different.
I would not even have pulled the item, but it's a lease. And I think that, again, if there is no conflict, reach out to me. You need me to review documentation, income, credit. I can do all of that. Make sure that these are, vetted tenants or potential tenants that we want to lease to. And then obviously, we want to make sure that if we do have a lot of people that are coming in, are there going to be counter offers, right? Those are all things that we can maneuver within ourselves, I think, for the time being. And if it doesn't work, then we can go ahead and contract it out. But for me, I would really love to save the city's $40,000 on this for now. Let's put a timeline on it. And if it doesn't work, then we'll go ahead and bring it back. So for me, if no one has anything else to say, I'll go ahead and make a motion to take it off the calendar and then revisit in a few months. If it doesn't work, we'll bring it back. That's my
Second.
motion.
I'll second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Absolutely. Just confirming that the motion is to table this this item to date uncertain.
Take it off the calendar.
Take it off.
Take it off the calendar. Okay. Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
All abstain.
motion carries 3-0.
All right, thank you for that, City Clerk. And at this moment, I believe we are down to item number 9, and I believe we have Eureka in the audience. So Eureka and Manny, I think this is an item for you to take on.
Sure. Eureka will go ahead and elaborate a little bit on the report. We also have community development and housing here to answer any specific questions in regards to the staff report as well. Eureka?
Sure. Mayor and members of the City Council. So the staff report before you today is to come back and provide you the different funding sources that we were able to collect since our last meeting for the operations of Serenity Homes for a 1-year contract serving the 50 beds of interim housing for families experiencing homelessness. So this new contract would have dates of September 23rd of this year through September 22 of 24. And on the recommendations, we're asking for quite a few things to accept funds, as well as allow us to authorize staff to apply for PLHA funding. And on the second page, you'll see the sources of funds that we have been able to gather. We were successful in having an additional $197,753 from the Los Angeles County Measure H dollars. And we were also able to find some previous balance amounts from the ARPA and HHPP pilot program from the first year. So before you is the additional sources that we have identified to get us to the finish line to complete our service agreement for the following year.
Great. Is there any comments from council? So I just want to thank you, Rico and Manny, for putting a lot of work into the PHLA. I know it's a pretty big deal, and I think it's nice to be able to continuously capture different funding sources, especially because we know that the funding is limited through the Regional Housing Trust, and we know, just different sources I don't think are going to be long-term most reliable. So I think it's really important that we continue to keep this, because we want to make sure that Serenity Homes and Esperanza Villa have longevity. They are doing a lot of work in the community. We just visited Serenity recently with the donation from La Tropicana.
Yeah.
And so, we got to see a lot of new families, and even in Esperanza, right, we're seeing a lot of people be able to move in and also move out. So, the work is only beginning there, and we have to make sure that it continues. And, of course, we wouldn't be able to do it without you, Eureka. So we're thankful for you. And of course, Manny, for your leadership. So this is a great item. Just wanted to make sure that council understood what was happening here. So there's no questions or comments.
I just have a comment. I want to thank Eureka for taking the lead. I know you have worked diligently making sure we get the funds, and Manny, of course, and all the staff involved. But it's not just only about the funds. I know you guys make sure that the program is running the way it's supposed to be running and that the families of Baldwin Park are being served. And I know you do because we have had discussions. You make sure that the place is kept appropriate, that it's clean, that everything's functioning. You're constantly making sure that things get fixed or that families are being taken care of. Again, mostly that Baldwin Park residents are being serviced. And I know it's not an easy job because it's not the only job you have. And I appreciate everything that you have done for this because it means a lot and it feels really good to see those happy faces, the children when they're in the playroom, just playing with the little dolls or what have you. When we went and they gave the Tropicana gave the backpacks away, just to see that little smile, that little light in their eyes. And it's all thanks to all the work that you guys put into this program. Again, it's not just about funding. And I know you guys do it because you care, because it's in here. So thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.
Great, thank you for that. So I'll make a motion to approve item number 9. Can I have a second?
Second.
For that, city clerk, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, thank you for that, city clerk.
Thank you.
This moment. Thank you, Eureka, and thank you, Manny. At this moment, we go on to our public hearing, conduct a public hearing and consider the adoption of resolution number 2023-028, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Baldwin Park, California, adopting the fee schedule for fiscal year 2023-2024 solid waste collection and recycling services. We will go, before we open the public hearing, I know, Sam, we've talked about this a little bit with the, the rates should be going down for residential units. And so I think one of the things we want to clarify is rates should be going down for everybody in the residential area, but are those rates going to be made up, that decrease in raise is going to be made up for with extra fees from the organic waste?
Yes, that is correct. So we are asking in today's item that the city council conduct a public hearing to consider public testimony on the restructuring, as you mentioned, of the solid waste rates, which will cause an increase in rates in certain accounts. So all residential accounts are now going to be charged for organics collection. However, per the restructuring of the rates, that rate is going to go down for most residents, or for all residents. It'll decrease, including the additional charge for the organics. And that was achieved during the restructuring of the rates. The city mailed out, along with Waste Management, we mailed out 12,958 mailers to every account holder. We did receive some protests. We received 23 written protests. And so after the outcome of the public hearing, we would ask council to consider adoption of the resolution, which will put these new rates in place.
Yeah, just wanted to clarify, because I know in the contract that says the fees it's in the contract. I read.
Right. Per Prop 218, we have to send it to all account holders, notifying that there's going to be increases in rates. And so everybody gets the same letter. We did get a couple of calls, and once we told them that their rate was going down, they understood. In fact, out of the 23 that written protests that we got, I spoke to the person, which is one owner who has several properties. 22 of his properties rates will be going down. Only one, a commercial property, the rate will be going up by $32 a month. And once he realized that, he was happy. So
okay, nice.
So with that, we'd like to ask the council to open up the public hearing.
Great. Is there any questions from the city council?
I have a question. The businesses, they don't have a green waste collection, right?
Yes, yes.
They do?
And
I've only seen
Lily here.
recycle and trash.
Oh. Go ahead, yeah. Yeah.
Or are they getting
Lily
an
Chiara with
additional-
Waste Management will be able to respond to that.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. That is the goal of this new contract. This contract is what we call SB 1383 compliant, which is the law that basically mandates that both residential and commercial be brought up to these regulations of adding organic carts. We're no longer calling it green waste, it's organic, because now we also need to divert food waste. So to talk about commercial, you're right, as we've been working very hard to get all of our business in compliance, but with this new law that has teeth and has timelines, we're really going to focus on commercial, working with Sam's team and going into these customers and starting to add organic services. You will most likely see a cart service rather than a bin. Many of these customers, especially on the commercial side, a cart will suffice to meet the state mandates. So we will definitely start working and concentrating on our commercial to be in compliance with the state regulation.
And I work for the school district, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of waste. There's a lot of food that gets thrown in the trash. So they're going to have a separate cart, you're saying?
Yes.
For that?
Yes.
So every single school is going to need to have that.
Absolutely.
And of course, all the restaurants.
Restaurants for sure. There is an exemption for some mom and pop businesses that are not food generators. So maybe a dry cleaner, an office setting, that we can work with them and show there's some criteria where they can get exempt, showing that they produce less than a 20-gallon bag of food waste. That then allows them to get an exemption and not have to pay for a service that they don't really need. So there's a little bit of caveat from the state guideline that, as I mentioned, I'll be working very closely with Sam's team. And obviously we have a whole team of educators that will be working with our commercial business.
Just a quick side note, this is kind of personal. I mean, the way I'm looking at it, it's like we're going to have to be washing our trash cans even more often now, because I've already started doing the recycling and it's just not feasible. I don't know how to handle that, because you're going to have that everywhere. You're going to be driving down the street and, like on hot days, let's say it doesn't go by till 1 o'clock in the afternoon or what have you. You have smelly trash cans out on the street.
So unfortunately, I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, there's a yuck factor to this new
Yes.
regulation, but it's a regulation. We'll be working on providing some education, which is some of the options that we talk to our residents when we go out and do presentations is you can use a paper bag. You can wrap the items in newspaper. If some of us have some space in our fridge, we ask that you keep your food waste in the fridge until maybe the night before the trash day and then bring it out. There's essential oils that we recommend, like strong, that help with the bug thing. So there's a few things that we're offering as
Well,
tips.
There's other options, right? You're absolutely right. We had objected to this law in my previous job, and we were able to slow them down since LA had
Yeah.
quite a bit of footprint, but for that very reason.
Yeah.
In the Valley of LA is the same as here, 105 in some days, so it's really bad. But you have the option of most food waste can go in your food grinder and your processor down the sink.
Yeah.
Most food.
It's funny. I've always frozen my leftovers. I've always done that, but in a plastic bag, and that plastic bag just went that morning in the trash can. But you don't want that plastic bag in there,
Down,
right?
unfortunately, plastic bags do not break down in the time that we need
Yeah.
from a composting
We'll just have to figure it out.
facility. And then last, I want to remind customers, they do have an option. If it's a bad shape, just call us and we can always exchange that cart. That's also an option that a resident may have.
Okay.
All righty, thank you.
I just have a brief question. Now that you're mentioning the organic waste and all that, will there be some type of workshop, or how would the education portion of this go for our residents? How would we know what goes where? Like she just mentioned, the plastic bags. We're not going to put plastic bags in there. So would you have social media videos? How would you educate?
So
the
it's going to be a combination of everything. We know that people, not everyone reads, not everyone is on social media, not everyone attends meetings. So it's going to be us attending community events, again, working very closely with Sam's team, kicking off an education program. In fact, that is one of the clear obligations in this new contract is actually putting together an education plan on a yearly basis to reassess what we need to do every year. I have a team, Josh Goldman is back there, who's the manager. We also have Dawn, who is sitting outside, managing an education booth outside of council if anyone had any questions. So we are also going to be hiring an additional staff member to support. So it's a combination of everything. It's a newsletter that you will see as part of your bill insert. It's going to be social media pieces that you will see. We also have a dedicated website for Baldwin Park where we will be adding this education stuff. And then finally is personal discussions, whether that is attending a senior center of wherever, people congregate, and then events. So you will see us. I mean, this law, in order for it to be successful, will require a lot of education and outreach.
And
Thank you so much.
and Cal Recycle understands this. At the beginning of this year, they awarded us $108,000 grant precisely to do what outreach. So we've already decimated a lot of that, but we're going to culminate with a press release for now that if the rates are approved, and a video to educate the community. That's the toilet program.
Mayor, I do want to say, and I want to thank Waste Management for informing us, but I do want to say that your predecessor, Terry Muse, she did a pilot program with the same thing at Walnut, and it's doable, but it's a lot of teaching and it's a lot of showing, and all the kids were able to do it. They were able to tell me, like, yes, this is this goes in the organic food and this does not, and so they're very well aware, but it's going to take a lot. Okay, so for a school my size to do it was doable. It was pre-pandemic, and then everything happened, but it's doable. I think it's really necessary, but there's going to have to be a lot of outreach, because like I said, it's doable, and it is, the carts are okay, but you're going to have to really, really, really reach out to the community, but it's doable. It's a good thing. So thank you.
Yes, I think the end result overcomes the smell. So, and I just want to
They're separated from other stuff.
Yeah, and I do want to mention, we have kind of had some conversations with some of the school board members to see if we can divert excess food from schools into our shelters. So I think that's another, so we'll see how that goes. But yes, so at this moment, I will officially open the public hearing for anybody looking to speak in favor or opposition. Now is the time.
I need to introduce myself or anything, or?
You can state your name and your address if you'd like to. Otherwise, just your name. You don't have to.
Nathaniel Soil. I live up on Joan Bridge, Baldwin Park resident for 2-3 years. I love the idea that rates are going down for residences, for residential units. I appreciate that. Earlier, Mayor and Sam mentioned something about organics previously were not charged, and they're going to be charged now, but they're going to be less. I didn't quite follow that 100%. Could we just go over that really quickly?
Absolutely, and maybe Lily can chime in. So this was achieved over a restructuring of rates, where currently the rates that were in place 10 years ago were sort of kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they were lopsided to the heavy users, and it looked like a lot of the mom and pop businesses were sort of subsidizing or carrying a lot of that. So after Lily's team looked into the rates, they were able to restructure and move some of that heavy lifting over to heavy commercial users. And I'll have Lily expand on.
So I can provide some clarification on the residential side. You probably have seen, if there's been a lot of local news around many cities rates increasing due to this law. What we've done in Baldwin Park as part of this renegotiation of getting term, right? Getting a new contract is we were able to lower the rates, because now we have a term where we're able to amortize the cost associated with this particular law. Because we're not only talking about putting food waste in the cart, but this law also comes with a laundry list of obligations that we didn't have before. And that's both on the city side and the hauler side, such as reporting, the education, the monitoring. I mean, the reporting, I cannot tell you how much reporting is going to happen because they want us to report on actually looking at people's carts and seeing that we're actually increasing diversion. So the rate structure on the residential side prior to this contract was associated with greenways, which means just your landscape, right? Your grass clippings, your branches and everything. And they're going to a very local composting facility. Now that we're talking organics, it needs to go to a very specialized composting facility that's permitted to accept food waste. I'm not a professional composter, but it's a very different process that those facilities need to go through in order to turn that material with food waste into an enriched soil. Those facilities are further out. This is a law that doesn't have infrastructure to support this regulation. It's certainly not locally here in our cities for obvious reasons. We don't have space to have composting facilities. So in order to comply with this regulation, we have to go further out. There's transportation costs. So despite all those costs associated with this new law, we were able to revisit every single aspect of this contract. And again, for the opportunity of staying in your city, we want to keep this contract. We were able to amortize these rising costs into a longer term, and that resulted in a decrease on the residential instead of being an increase like many of our surrounding cities. On the commercial side, we were able to also restructure the rates. You know, the way we did it for decades was basically everyone paid as per volume, regardless if you were mom and pops or a large generator. What we did now is really looked at our small mom and pops, our one-time service, two-time service, and really get them to pay for what they're actually producing. And then restructuring on the larger ones actually pay for what they're generating. So you will see that the businesses that have smaller bins, you know, the commercial bins for 1 or 2 days, I mean, they're seeing a drastic decrease, like sometimes almost 50, 100%. The larger generators, and I mean like the large markets that produce a lot of waste, they have their 6-yarders 6 times a day, they will definitely see an increase, but they are paying what they're generating. So we're making it a little bit fair. So that's how we were able to restructure the existing rates to be a little bit more fair on what you're actually producing. And the residents, you know, like I mentioned, are seeing a roll back on their monthly rates. I hope that explains it.
It made me think of something. How is that going to work for apartments? There's some apartments there, it's large apartment complexes. Is that going to be considered like a business, or how does that work? Because I know they have the big.
Yeah, so apartments have always been considered a business because they are, if you're a business, if we're servicing you with a commercial metal bin.
Right.
If you're on the smaller side, we do have some smaller apartments that maybe 4 units, anything that are still being serviced through a card because we're able to do it. So they're, you know, fall under this residential rate. But multifamilies historically have always been considered business since they're being serviced with a commercial bin.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Great. All right. Is there anybody else looking to speak? If not, I will officially close the public hearing for anybody looking to speak in favor or opposition. And I will make a motion to approve the recommendation, item number 11. And we will adopt the resolution number 2023-028. Can I have a second? City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian.
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
Great. Thank you for that, City Clerk. At this moment, we have reports of officers, grant and reimbursement report for fourth quarter fiscal year 2022-2023. I will make a motion to approve it unless anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns.
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila, Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
All right, thank you for that, City Clerk. City Council acting as successor agency of the dissolved Community Development Commission. We do have two items, and I will make a motion to approve both simultaneously, SA1 and SA2. City Clerk, can I have
Second.
council members second? All right, seconded by Councilmember Damian. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
All right, thank you for that. We have a consent calendar for the Baldwin Park Housing Authority. I will make a motion to approve that. Can I have the second?
Second.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
All right. Oh, and we have one more for was it the finance? Sorry, I just exited out.
Housing.
Finance Authority?
That was treasurer's
City
successor.
Clerk, Finance Authority? Right?
Yeah, you just did housing. I mean, you did finance and now you have housing.
Okay, correct.
Yeah.
So now we have the Housing Authority, sorry about that. We have the Housing Authority, consent calendar. I will make a motion to approve the consent calendar. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you for that. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Estrada,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
All right, thank you for that, City Clerk, City Council, City Clerk, City Treasurer, staff requests and communications. We didn't really put anything in there, but I just want to ask staff to give us an update on the eviction and tenant protections fund for legal services. Next meeting if possible.
Okay, how's it work?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
All right. Is there any comments? questions?
Yeah, I didn't put it on there, but since we had the water presentation, and then you mentioned the toilet program. So with the AI, do we have an update on the toilet program? Do we know how many toilets and shower heads we've installed, or how's that going with the community?
Absolutely. So we haven't installed any showers or toilets to this point. The program has yet to launch. We are done with all of our social media messaging. We're done with our video. We're done with the website. All of it is scheduled to launch next week. We just have a couple of questions for the city attorney on the disclaimer and the home harness language, but after that, we'll launch next week. We're working with our PR firm on a press release that would go out next week, and then we'll start installing toilets and shower heads.
Thank you for the update. Appreciate that.
So it's really cool, right? Residents will get a reduction in their trash, and they can will also be helping them reduce their water bill.
And so we plan to be at the street market. We're going to bring out the toilet that we're going to be replacing. We'll have it in demonstration, and we'll have residents give them all the information and give them the opportunity to apply then and there.
Nice. All right, cool. Any more questions? Comments?
Mayor, if I may, I just kind of want to acknowledge something that Pastor Jackson mentioned earlier. Obviously, probably top of mind of most of us. He mentioned the wildfires in Hawaii and the lives lost. And so just want to acknowledge that and just let the community know that our hearts are with all the people of Maui. And if there's anything the city can do or anything I can do to help the city, that we can show our support to the city, or the county of Maui, I'm available. So thank you.
Yes, that was a really important to keep everybody in mind in Hawaii going on right now. There is a lot of there's a lot going on out there, and I think it's something that we can keep in mind and see if there's anything we can do. Thank you for bringing that up, City Clerk. Any other questions, comments, concerns from city staff or?
Mayor, I just have a couple things to say. I just want to thank everybody for staying. And I want to acknowledge our staffs who worked collaboratively on the 5K, of course, with Recreation and Community Service, but also our police department and our public works who worked on that whole event. And I think we had a really great time and we had great participation. And I also want to acknowledge Armando Nava and his staff in Recreation for the Itsy Bitsy mini program, and I was able to attend their award ceremony, their banquet. And we bared the heat, but it was really great, and they had great entertainment with the magician. So I just want to acknowledge, he was really great. So and that's it. And I want to wish everybody a great first day of school tomorrow. Thank you.
Also,
I'll just speak. Oh, sorry. I just would like to piggyback off Councilman Ayala. I want to thank all staff, Maria Moreno from Parks and Recreation, Manny. The street market was a huge success last week. I mean, I think that's a record. I don't think we've seen that many people out in the street market. Got really great feedback, both from residents and vendors that attended. I think all of the vendors did really well that day. So it's really good to see our small businesses being able to make money off of that. So just want to say thank you, Manny. Please thank Maria Moreno, because I know that she's, you know, I don't know how she does it, where she gets her energy from, but she's just up and down that street market. And then Chief, our police department, for your presence there. I know it was a few issues with crowd control, but you guys did an amazing job out there. And, Public Works was out there in full force, clean up the mess and all that. So thank you to all the staff, but honestly, Parks and Recreation, Maria Moreno, thank you guys very much for a great event that you guys put on.
Mayor.
Hey, and thanks to the gas station for letting people.
Yes, I was just going to mention that.
What?
I also want to thank everybody that was involved. The street market's always very popular, but as the years go by, it gets even better and better. And the better it gets, I know it's more work for all of you. And it was really exciting to hear when I presented the staff from Parks and Recreation, the crowd went crazy because they're so excited that you do this. When I mentioned the police department for keeping us safe, the crowd went crazy. So they really appreciate everything every single one of you guys do here. I know the people behind the scenes, everybody in the offices here at City Hall, they have a lot to do with it as well. They're not out there, but thank you to everybody that is part of the city that makes sure these events are happening for our community. It is so important that you guys know that we do appreciate everything that you do, and it's because of you that the city runs. We give the ideas. I always say we give you the ideas and you guys just run with it. And we really appreciate it because your community appreciates it. And it was seen this last Thursday, the way they just cheered for every single one of you. So thank you. Let's keep it up and go out and have fun on Thursday again.
And then just one more thing, Mayor, and I promise this is it. Rose, I didn't leave you out. I'm sorry. I know that your staff is not out there like the rest of the
money.
departments are, but you are a big part of this. So thank you, because you're the one that helps us find the money to pay for these events. So your work does not go unnoticed, neither does your department. So thank you so much, Rose. We appreciate you as well.
I did say at the meeting, at the concert, that a few weeks back, Councilmember Avila from the city of Azusa came, and he really loved the concerts in the park. And I said it out on the stage, and he asked, "What is it that you do? How can I get this in my city?" I say, "You need money." Right? And that would be Rose's answer. Manny, do you have any idea how many people we had?
We were chatting at the staff level. I suspect about 7,500 to
Wow,
to
amazing.
10,000 people. We viewed the drone video and it was phenomenal. But I also like to take this opportunity to thank the Department of Recreation Community Services, Police Department, Public Works, Finance, City Attorney's Office, up and down, all the way around. It was a team effort. And thank you for the leadership of the City Council. Very, very pleased with our first downtown street market. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I can make a quick comment before, also want to thank Manny, and actually every department, for the 5K and for the last street market. It was an incredible show of, like, I guess every department. And I want to call out Public Works because they're often kind of forgotten, aside with Department of Recreation Community Service. They're there way before the event begins, and they're there way later. And it was like obvious during the back to school, the National Night Out, where the event ended, but it was a police event. But after it ended, there you saw Public Works staff there way into late into the night. So I want to thank you. But also I have a question, and I don't know if it's something that Enrique or maybe Sam can get back to me, but I know that she mentioned that you can't use plastic bags when you're doing your organic waste. I mean, I work in an area that's serviced by Valley Vista, and they actually change out our liners on our organic waste bins when they pick up our trash. So our organic waste. And so I just want to clarify, because there are compostable liners that are made out of plant starch that biodegrade, they're not plastic. So I just want to confirm whether that is a truth, that you can't use any liner, because that's a game changer. If you're able to use a liner, and I know that I mentioned to Enrique, is that I know that we're trying to comply with this state requirement, but the remedy, the remedy can be worse than the disease, right? Like, we're helping the environment one way, but then we're going to be wasting a ton of water washing all of these bins, right? So I don't know if there's a happy medium. And so I'm just curious about the liner.
Yeah, no, I can definitely, get back to you, but I can tell you now that is a significant area of interest for us. And so we're still working with Waste Management, and if it does come about that we can have a solution for that, we'll bring it to amendment to the contract, sort of thing.
Well, once we are able to figure out what to do with palm fronds, palm fronds are not compostable. Palm fronds, it's the palms. The
straw hats.
The palm fronds,
I understood you, Enrique.
they're not compostable. So you're going to see all sorts of disclaimers in our education. And so anyway, if we are going to digest it, then plastic is a no-no. If we're going to compost it, maybe the liners, compostable liners can, but we'll. Yeah.
All right, that's definitely a good question we can look into. All right, everybody, don't forget. Well, first go to school, and then after 5 o'clock, you can start getting ready. 7 o'clock, we'll see you tomorrow. Bring your boots, your sombrero. I have my Stetson ready for tomorrow, so I'm very excited to see you all there. All right, everybody. Thank you for today. You have an early ending, so enjoy it, and we will adjourn the meeting. Good night, everybody.